Struggling to teach your dog basic obedience in or out of the home? Today, I'm going to be running through some general basics for teaching dogs new skills. Hi, I'm Kristen, and I'm the head trainer at Salty Pack. We'll start with the sit as an example. I know your dog probably knows how to sit, but have you found that over time, our cue for sit is now sit, sit, Fido, sit, sit, sit. In our very verbal human world, dogs struggle to maintain focus on all of the words that we're saying. Imagine being in a foreign country and asking where the toilet is. Rather than being told in that foreign language, it's down the hallway, it's down the hallway. Wouldn't you prefer it if they might point down the hallway or even have you follow them to be shown where the toilet is? We have to help our dogs in the same way to have them understand this foreign language that we're trying to communicate with them. We can teach our dog that verbal or hand signal cues means to do a behavior through a couple of ways. One is a luring technique, which uses high-value reinforcers to lure the dog into position, or by using a guided technique. Both are great for teaching skills, and it's awesome to switch back and forth between your techniques to show your dog many different pictures. In the luring technique, we're going to start in a stand position with our dog. Don't call your dog into any position at the moment, just capture where they're at. With a food lure in front of your dog's nose, bring your food lure up and back so that your dog is almost looking into the sky and hopefully rolls back into the sit position. It may take a little time for your dog to reach and sit back for the food, but once they do, hold for a second or two in your sit position and then use your release word or hand signal and have the dog chase the food as the reward. Down the track, when your dog is following along with that lure really well, say 90% certainty you know they're going to be able to follow up with it, start to give your cue, wait a second or two, and if the dog does not respond, follow up with helping them out with that luring base technique. Remember, only give your cue once in this case, and only use your release word once. Another way to teach the sit is through a guided technique. Think back to our example of you're in a foreign country and you're trying to find where the toilet is. When someone points down the hallway, that's kind of like our luring technique. You're probably going to get there in the end, but there is a chance that they might have meant that the toilet is actually out the back or down a different hallway. In this case, our guided technique is when someone's actually showing you and taking you to where the toilet is, much less likely to get lost. Guided techniques are also great for practicing your dog being calm and relaxed when you're handling them. This is a great skill for dogs to have, if they need to go to the vet or groomer, if they're injured, or just being able to follow along with pressure on that collar. This one is a little bit harder for the deaf and hearing impaired dogs, but still a great skill to practice. With your dog close on your right or left side, put your opposite hand through the top of their collar. If they are not already in a stand, gently move them into this stand position without giving a cue. You are then going to have your other hand just resting on top of your dog's bum when they are calm. This hand is more for framing your dog, not for pushing their bum to the ground. When your dog is relaxed in this stand position, give your cue for sit, wait 1 to 2 seconds, and then apply gentle but constant pressure on the collar up and backwards to guide your dog into the sit position, while your other hand frames up the dog so that they do not wiggle around. When your dog is calm and relaxed, use your release word and have a big game. Important things to remember when you're doing this guided technique is when the dog does roll back into that sit position, make sure that the pressure on the collar is turned off. What this is teaching the dog is when collar pressure turns on, not to work against it, but to go with it and the pressure turns off. They are in control. Also remember that if your dog is kicking or wiggling or screaming or anything like that, Be confident with your handling. If we release the dog while they're doing these behaviors, it's furthermore reinforcing that if they don't want to be handled, all they have to do is throw a tantrum. So work through this, or you may have problems later. If you're not comfortable with this technique, it's okay to skip for the moment until you can see a professional trainer to give you more help. With these techniques, you can teach all kinds of skills. Important to remember that with your luring technique, only give your cue when you have 90% reliability that you know that the dog will follow along with the lure. With guided techniques, because we are following through and helping the dog to get into position, you can always give your cue. Remember to build up the level of distraction for any skill that you're working on with your dog. What I mean by that is if you're teaching new skills one day and you might have great successes in your first session or two, don't immediately then go into a high distraction environment for your dog. Make sure to set them up for success by building up that level of distraction slowly but surely. This is how you're going to get the best reliability out of your dog. And last little training tip, remember, try and limit the amount of words that you're using with your dog. We're teaching them a foreign language, so try and keep it simple. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the material that was gone over in this video today, or you're interested in getting in touch with us about our services, you can email us at woof, which is WOOF, @saltypack.com.au. You can also call or text us on 0455 055 304, or you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook @SaltyPackDogs. Thanks again. Now go train your dogs.